Director Neill Blomkamp is in the news a lot lately because of his new film Gran Turismo, and I wouldn't blame you if you didn't know he actually directed that, because I had no idea until one day I decided to look into what he was doing lately, and lo and behold, he's doing a racing movie. But because he's in the news lately, people are asking him a lot of stuff in interviews, and of course, the Alien movie comes up all the time, and it still makes me sad to read about this movie. So here's this article from comingsoon.net from a few days ago. It says, Neill Blomkamp doesn't want to talk about Alien. Quote, it's hard to define how little I care. Now, this sounds like cope on his part, and that's not a bad thing. Like, that is, I would be coping too if I was him and this happened, because he spent like a decade trying to make several of these movies happen. I'll get to Robocop, because that's another one that didn't happen, but first of all, let's talk about Alien. So, Neill Blomkamp has no interest in discussing his canceled Alien film. I mean, I wouldn't either if I had gotten so far into production than have the plug pulled on it at the last second. I would be bitter. Near the end of an interview with Uproxx, Blomkamp was being asked about Alien 5 and some production designs the Gran Turismo director shared over social media several years ago, when he abruptly cut the conversation short. And yeah, I remember all those really cool I've made another video about this, actually. I remember all those concept art pieces that looked awesome for a potential Alien 5 that just ignores Alien 3 and 4 and continues on after Aliens. And I wish it happened, because the world needs Blomkamp's Alien. Quote, it's hard to define how little I care about what happens with Alien, he said. The conversation quickly circled back around to Gran Turismo. However, Blomkamp only provided a few more brief responses before he decided they had spoken about it enough. His publicist then interjected and ended the interview. And then it says, Neill Blomkamp and Alien 5, what happened? So, Blomkamp, who also directed District 9, Elysium, and Chappie, I will still defend Elysium and Chappie. I like both those movies still. I know they're nowhere near as good as District 9, but I still enjoy them. Signed a deal to make a new Alien film in 2015. The film, however, was never fully developed, and in 2017, Ridley Scott, who directed Alien, declared the project dead. I think he killed it, and it sucked, because he made Covenant. He probably wanted to make a third movie, but then Disney bought Fox, and I think they probably put the kibosh on Ridley's third movie after Covenant, or his third prequel. Because he did the first one, it would be his fourth one. But, so I think he killed Blomkamp's Alien 5, and then Fox/Disney killed Ridley Scott's third movie. And now, of course, we're getting Alien Romulus from Fede Alvarez and the TV show, but it stings that that's not happening. There was never a script, Scott told Allociné at the time. It was an idea that evolved from, I believe, a 10-page pitch, and I was meant to be the producer on that, and it didn't evolve. Fox decided that they didn't want to do it, and that was it. Now, I don't know if I should believe Ridley Scott more or Neill, because I feel like Ridley may not tell the complete truth, considering he wasn't going to be directing, and he probably wanted to, so he could be twisting words, you never know. Blomkamp commented on the situation when speaking with The Guardian in 2021, saying, it's possible that Ridley watched Chappie, and he was like, this guy can't do Alien, so let's just go ahead and move on. Since then, the rights to Alien were acquired by Disney. Oh, that sucks. I hate to hear that. When the company purchased 20th Century Fox in 2019, a new Alien film starring a bunch of people you've never heard of is now in the works from Don't Breathe director Fede Alvarez, and currently expected to release August of next year. Meanwhile, Blomkamp made Demonic, which I've never seen, and Gran Turismo, which I plan on seeing because I hear it's good. So, yeah, it's a bummer, man, because, I had never seen his Oat Studios shorts. I've been watching them recently, and they're awesome. And so, he recently said he's not going to adapt anything that isn't his own, because I remember he did an Anthem commercial for that game, Anthem. Remember that game? Yeah, neither do I. After he did that, and then after Alien, and then Robocop fell through, he was not going to do anything derivative, which is why I was shocked to find out he's doing Gran Turismo, which is derivative of a game. He was going to go back to doing his original stuff. So, and I remember him saying District 10 was his next project, which was not the case. So, here's the other story. because he's in a million interviews right now for Gran Turismo. Cancel Robocop sequel detailed by director Neill Blomkamp. Neill Blomkamp details the big plans he had for his now canceled Robocop. I feel so bad for him, man, because and for us as an audience, because both those franchises are right up his alley, and watching District 9 and his style, oh, it'd be so cool. We'd get an even grittier Robocop, and an even grittier alien. He's perfect for it, and it's just a shame that it didn't happen. A direct sequel to it ignores 2. 1987 Paul Verhoeven action classic. Great movie. And I saw him in person when I went to, I saw Peter Weller at Fan Expo, Chicago. Neill Blomkamp had plans for a canceled Robocop sequel titled Robocop Returns, which would have been a follow-up. I don't know if What's-His-Face was going to come back. Why am I blanking on his name already again? I just said it. Peter Weller. Blomkamp intended to emulate the directing style of Paul Verhoeven, which, oh man, that would have been so cool, and wanted the sequel to feel like it took place the day after the events of the first movie. Why? Who owns Robocop? I want to know, and why you didn't think this was a good idea. They're probably they'd say, oh, well, Chappie bombed. Well, Robocop's a big IP, so don't go by that. Blomkamp's film Chappie, released in 2015, shares thematic similarities with Robocop, featuring a consciousness trapped in a mechanical body. Yeah, he would have been perfect, man. Neill details the plans he had for his canceled Robocop sequel. Released in 1987, Paul Verhoeven's original vision of a cyborg cop cleaning up dystopian Detroit became a smash at the box office, and went on to be considered one of the true classics of the 1980s action. Yeah, I want to get it on 4K, because I only watched it for the first time 2 years ago, maybe. The film would later get a pair of poorly regarded sequels. I've seen 2. I thought it was okay. 3 I've not seen. Followed by a pair of short-lived TV series. Much later, Robocop would be remade. I want to watch this too. But critics and audiences alike rejected the 2014 reimagining of Verhoeven's film. Then in 2018, plans were hatched by District 9 director Blomkamp to unleash his own follow-up, based on a rejected Robocop sequel concept from the original movie's writers. See? You had the original writers on board, Ed Neumeyer and Michael Miner. Oh, it could have been so good. Blomkamp's take obviously never came to fruition, as the director in 2019 bowed out of the planned sequel, which would have been titled Robocop Returns. Yeah, I feel bad for this dude. All these cool-sounding projects he keeps getting. Halo was the first blow to his career. He couldn't make that. I mean, at least we got a short film out of it, but still. Hey, go watch Halo Landfall if you've never seen it. Directed by Neill. Bowed out of the... which would have been Neill. Interviewed recently by Joe Blow, the Gran Turismo director talked about what he had in mind for his canceled movie, explaining that it would have followed directly from the events of the original film, and tried to emulate the first movie's style as closely as possible. Check out what he had to say in the space below. Quote, that's the only film that I would have ever done where I would have tried to basically simulate Paul Verhoeven's directing style. I wanted it to feel like it was the day after. Like if Dick Jones fell out of the window on Monday, this would have been Tuesday. It was literally the next morning that it began. So it was a direct sequel exactly in the same style. Chappie is Blomkamp's Robocop. Is this a different article? No, it's the same one. Though he never got to make an official sequel, Blomkamp did make his Robocop. Released in 2015, Chappie, centered on a law enforcement robot, given consciousness via AI. I forgot he was a cop. It's been that long since I've seen Chappie, and I've seen it once. Who is befriended by a pair of desperate punk gangsters on the streets of dystopian Johannesburg. Though Chappie is not a literal cyborg like Robocop's Murphy, he is, like Murphy, a consciousness trapped in a mechanical body, whose human side ultimately triumphs. Thematically, Blomkamp's film is very similar to Verhoeven's, as it riffs on various 1980s films, including Short Circuit. I mean, yeah, he even looks kind of like Johnny Five. Chappie, unfortunately, is not well regarded by critics. I still enjoyed it. I have to rewatch it, though. It's been 8 years. Critically carrying just a 32% on Rotten. That's bad. Also, you didn't spell tomatoes right. Come on, Screen Rant. Get better editors. Toamtos. Though it does have its champions, including science fiction author William Gibson. As for Blomkamp's ambitious Robocop sequel, it seems highly unlikely that the film will ever see the light of day. That blows. Given that Amazon now owns the IP. Ugh, no, Amazon, you're going to ruin it. They already did that with Rings of Power. After acquiring MGM, yeah, so Amazon does own it. That sucks, and will likely look for less daring ways to reboot the franchise. So, boring ways to reboot it. Man, that sucks that the Amazon owns it now. So, I mean, it's probably a fruitless effort, but I am gonna go see Gran Turismo just to help boost that movie's box office, because maybe, just maybe, it'll make Amazon be like, Gran Turismo did well. Let's get Neill to finally make a sequel to Robocop. Maybe they're making it contingent on how well that movie does. So, and I just want to support Neill because I want to see more movies by him. So, if you want to see more movies by Neill Blomkamp, go see Gran Turismo. And fingers crossed we can get this at least. Maybe Alien 5 still. I doubt it. But I wish they would do it before Sigourney dies. Honestly. So, I don't know. We'll see. That's all I got for today, though. Let me know what you think of these two sadly canceled movies that still irk me to this day. Let me know which one would you rather see. Personally, I want to see them both equally. I can't really choose one or the other. So, yeah. That'll about do it. Subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you next time for whatever I do next. Peace out.